ってるシーンとかセリフとか。
いやもう全て印象的ですし、最初の冒頭灰になっていた状態からスタートするという、なんか本当に何層にもなっていて、お芝居の中で、劇中劇が あるわけで、これがまた非常に難解というか、と同時に、いわゆる扱ってるテーマというものが、人種だったりとか、いわゆる性的なそのマイノリティにあたるような人たちのお話だったりとか、特に時代背景も含めて、実際にこれ起こった事件というかじゃないですか。その結果的には、世界中を回ってブロードウェイで上演した際に出演者とプロデューサーが逮捕されてしまうっていう上演作品、いわゆるもうタブーを犯す人たち、そしてその作品に、ある意味取りつかれたと言ってもいいぐらい、その魅力だったりとか自分たちのアイデンティティだったりとか、そういった部分をこう力強くセリフでこう表現されているところだったりとか、やっぱりミュージカルというものを扱って劇中劇っぽい設定で物事を作っていくときに、こう要はどこまでこれを、少しコメディタッチにするのかで、やっぱりメッセージはちゃんと必要なんだけど、その伝え方一つで、受け取り方も全く変わってしまうし、そういった意味ではこの作品は攻めに攻めていて、これ僕も何回か見させてもらって、今日も朝もう一度見たんですね。やっぱりお話しする上で下手なこと言えないし、でも見れば見るほど魅力が増していくというか、見ていくうちになんて素晴らしい作品なんだろうっていう風に変わっていった。やっぱその意図が制作したポーラフォーゲルさん、もともとその社会的にこうとても影響力のあるピュリッツァー賞とか、そういったところをねこう、世界からも評価されてる方が、本当にこの作品の作り方があっぱれお見事っていう、エンディングまで本当に無駄がないし、なんかこう語ろうとするとなんかあれもこれも言いたいし、でもこれ全部つながってるからっていうマインドになったりとか、とにかく素晴らしいっていう言葉の一言で、あれだけ少ない人間たちであれだけの深いそして長い時間の物語を演じる、そしてその演出の手法も含めて非常に勉強になったっていうか、目から鱗な演出もたくさんありましたし、ってこうびっくりするようなものだったりとか、そして何よりも人間らしいというか演劇という部分に非常にフォーカスをしてるがゆえに、途中のそのお芝居をしてるシーンのお芝居っていうものがまたすごく面白くて、これちょっとうまくこれ以上語れないんですが、とにかく語るのが難しいけれどこのように語りたくなってしまう作品でした。おすすめです、非常に。
トニー賞合計13部門受賞、本物のブロードウェイミュージカル3本が日本上陸。ミュージカルラブコメディの傑作エニシングゴーズ。その舞台は大論争を巻き起こすインディセント。世界が涙した愛と感動の物語タイタニック。映画館の扉を開けたらそこは2時間の小旅行。松竹ブロードウェイシネマ2025秋。
I think the wonderful thing about theater is that it's a collaboration. And if it is a masterpiece, it is because of my director and my cast and the audience meeting the play and creating the play. I just write the script. I will say, however, that this play, I spent 10 years of research and reading. And this is the play where I wanted to think about my ancestors. And I think if we think about our ancestors, when we sit down, we become a vessel or a vehicle to try to find the resonance from them. And this was one of these rare experiences that I felt, where I felt I was being a channel. But there is a moment when the cast forms a single line and realizes that the fate is sealed. And our lead character, Lemel, can envision the characters in the play that he's been producing for half or more than half his lifetime, that he's loved dearly. And the fact that he can channel the beauty of the characters and see that beauty in his final moments is something that I guess I am hoping for and wishing for as someone who spent more than half my life in theater. But every night, when the play was over, audience members stayed on the street.
Oh.
And I would come out and I'd stay there for 2 hours. I mean, each person who stayed wanted to tell me what their grandparents did, who in their family were actors in the Yiddish theater, when their family came to the United States. Personal story after personal story. Or some of the older audiences, white-haired audiences like me, would say, I need my grandchildren to come to this. And another reason that I wanted to write this is it was extraordinary to me to see young people and elders together in the same audience. So that was the greatest gift, I think. My brother, who died in 1988, was a lover of Japanese culture. He lived in San Francisco. He learned the tea ceremony. He taught me about ukiyo-e. He taught me about no and bunraku. I fell in love with bunraku. And actually, I still have not yet gone to Japan. So regardless, I need to go to Japan. He never went to Japan either, except through his reading and through the art. But the one thing that remained with me, I actually wrote, and I said, a misunderstanding of Japanese drama. I wrote a bunraku play that we performed in New York with the puppeteer Basil Twist. The significance, though, that this had for me leads to Indecent and leads to the last play that I just presented, which is particularly the no drama, completely changed my notion of time, Western time, and completely changed my notion of ghosts. Because raised as a Westerner, I was taught that ghosts were supernatural. You know, we think of the ghost in Hamlet, that it's frightening, instead of the fact that ghosts are a part of the physical world, that it is part of the universe, that our ghosts are with us always, in a way that I feel, you know, I mean, it hasn't gone away. I mean, it's really transformed the way I look at theater. So our wonderful producer called me. I was teaching in Europe, and she called me and she said, "It breaks my heart, but I have to close the show. This is a business." And I said, "I absolutely understand." And we both cried on the phone. I said, "You know, for me, it never ends. And this was such an incredible gift that you gave me. And I'm very, very proud." So I hung up the phone, and I had a nice glass of wine that night. And, you know, all of us, this is life in the theater. You go on. And lo and behold, Daryl posted backstage here in America, we post a closing notice that tells everybody working on the production they have 2 weeks left. And she put it up, and she went home. And as she told me later, she couldn't sleep that night. She kept crying. And finally, her husband said, "Don't close it. This means you're not supposed to close it. We can find the money. People will come." So the very next day, after it had been announced that it was closing and we weren't selling tickets anymore, she ran backstage. She ripped up the closing notice and she called the cast down. Well, she called the cast down and then ripped up the closing notice. And she said, We have only sold tickets for the next 2 weeks. She said, I want you to go out tonight, and at the curtain call, you must announce that we're still running. It was amazing. People in the audience were crying. Everyone was jammed into the theater because they'd been told they only had 2 weeks. And from then on, we were at 108% capacity every night. I want to say to Japanese audiences how grateful I am that I feel the Japanese people love and cherish their art and keep it living for younger generations in a way that is not done in the West. And so the honor of this is so significant to me, and I want to thank all of you for giving me so much beauty on the page and on the stage that I've been able to see. I hope you enjoy it, and thank you.